Hey, Bills Mafia. We know there's only one topic every day. All Bills, all the time. And now Matt Beauvais and Sal Capaccio are going really deep, talking Bills all year long, because it's always game day in Buffalo.
Yes, we are live out here on Route 20 in Irving at Signals Gas Station. Sal Capaccio, Matt Beauvais. It's always game day in Buffalo, and we got a lot going on out here. Listen, we got people already going with doing the Bills shout song and all of that. Matt, this is pretty cool out here. What a beautiful day for us.
You go Route 20? See, I say route. I say
route.
routes.
It's route.
I know it's route, but
do you run passing routes?
No, I get it, but I feel like it's one of those Western New York things where I say Route 20.
Oh, man. Hey, listen, real quick, before we do anything, let's make sure. Can everybody hear me and Matt okay? Matt and I okay? Can you see us? Can you hear us? Because we'll have to do some adjusting in the technical side to make sure. So in the chat box right now, let us know. Let us know. I think you have to move your mic a little bit closer there, but we're going to make sure we know. So everybody who's in there, Doug and everybody, go Bills. I love it there. Make sure you can hear us. Make sure you can see us. Tell us, can we, can see and hear.
Sounds
great.
Good.
Thank
Beautiful.
you. Sounds good. We're ready to rock and roll.
We're ready.
Route 20 or Route 20? Is it route or route? Yeah, I say route.
It's
not passing routes. It's passing routes.
I mean, you're not wrong, but it's one of those things where I feel like it's just implied. Like if you were telling somebody you were taking 190 downtown, you would say, I'm taking the 190.
We are the only place in America, I think, that says the before all of our interstates.
And I refuse to not do it. It sounds so strange to be like, oh, I have to take 90 to 290.
Oh, my gosh.
That makes me cringe. No, there needs to be a the there.
All right, so listen, let me tell you everything that's going on here, because you only have until 5 p.m. to take advantage of everything, but obviously you can come down here anytime you want to get your gas, they sell fireworks here, for July 4th. It's great. But until 5 p.m. that we're down here, you get that's a food. There you go. My guy's cooking over here. He's cooking, right? He's cooking in more ways than one right now. Look at that. All right. So listen, here we go. If you get here before 5 p.m. right now, 10 cents off a gallon of gas.
Yeah.
How about that? That's pretty cool.
It's already, I think, like $2.79 or something.
Ooh.
So it's already really, really cheap compared to when I left Grand Island. It was $3.40 or something. So yeah, that's a huge win. And then if you get here in the next hour and a half, then you get 10 cents off of that, which is pretty awesome. Okay, and thanks a lot to Christine, who's helping us out. Been a big positive help for us down here from WGR Sports Radio 550 and Odyssey. Paula's Donuts until supplies last. We got some Paula's Donuts fans coming over here right now. I'm going to have a Paula's Donuts on the air. I have not eaten much today. I played golf a little bit south of here in Dunkirk. I think it'd be south. But anyway, it was a great course. Played and came over here. It was an amazing day, but I need to get a Paula's Donuts. Also, Matt, you've seen the autographed Bills merch over there. Yeah, there was incredible. Taron Johnson signed jersey, Landon Jackson signed jersey, Joey Bosa signed helmet, Jim Kelly signed football, Buffalo Joe Andreessen signed helmet. There was a bunch of good stuff over there. So it's all come down here, fill out a little piece of paper, write your information on it, have a chance to win. And we are going to be here until 5 p.m. We'll be doing this podcast probably until about 4:20, 4:30, which is however long it takes us to kind of wrap up everything that we need to talk about. What do we need to talk about? Well, let's start, Matt. Let's start and talk about the Buffalo Bills. And of course, the big news of what happened were the two Jordans. The Bills re-signed Jordan Poyer and Jordan Phillips. We were both out at practice. I think we need to start with a mea culpa more than anything. You and I need to say we were dead wrong. We were dead wrong. We had some of you in the chat box who said the Bills, should they bring in or can they bring in Jordan Poyer? And we basically laughed. We were like, no, that's not going to happen. They're like, I don't see it happening. You were right. Why? Why do you think they did it? I think the more I have thought about it, the more it makes sense to me as a practice squad addition, just because it feels like Jordan Poyer is here to try and get this safety room up to the standard that the Bills have. And maybe they don't feel like it's gotten to that point. I really don't think he is here to play a bunch of games. I think we might see him a couple times, but once again, I was wrong about him even coming in the first place. I think the over-under is 2.5, right? Because he gets 3 elevations. Do you think they elevate him more than 2.5 times this season? Or is it strictly to do what Micah Hyde did last year and just kind of be an additional coach who, it's a great question. Need it. But here's the thing about Jordan Poyer. Micah Hyde, after they signed him last year, really never, it felt like he was going to get into a game. I don't really think we ever thought. When they signed Jordan Poyer is so different than when they signed Micah. 100%. Jordan could play. It's not going to be crazy if he is out there in a couple weeks playing a game. If it becomes a regular occurrence, that's when I think you have a real problem. But for right now, I like them. There's really no risk involved to me. So it feels like it's just kind of strictly reward.
I think there was a pretty good, there was certainly a reaction. I think even a bit of an overreaction about him being on the field and playing when you realize, folks, this is a practice squad spot. Now, I would say, no doubt, there is a definite, legitimate argument from anyone to say, why would you use a spot on that guy when you have younger guys that you could bring over, you could develop, and if you need them? Because if you have to rely on Jordan Poyer to play, then that's probably not a good sign. I don't think that is a wrong opinion at all. What I would say, though, is look at it from how the Bills are approaching it. And Brandon Beane answered a really good question, I thought, from our colleague Thad Brown when he asked about this. And the answer basically was, look, when you get down to spots 65 through 70, which that's what you have on the roster overall, count the practice squad, you have to decide, is there a really young guy you want to take a lottery ticket on and develop? Is there a guy you can bring in here to help kind of prepare every week the guys you have? And I think because the Bills are in this Super Bowl window, they're not into lottery tickets right now. They're into making sure that they have everything buttoned up every week. That's what I think Brandon Beane's approach is here.
I mean, you're talking about guys on the practice squad, and I'm not dismissing the talent or the potential that they may have. And I understand, like, you have examples of a player like Tyrell Shavers who was on the practice squad and then eventually cracked a spot on the roster. Right now, just try and win. Whatever it takes to win right now. And if, in my opinion, Jordan Poyer helping your safety room is more valuable than developing a player who probably isn't going to see the field. I just feel like the reward is greater with an addition like Jordan Poyer. But Jordan Phillips is a little different to me. Like, I feel like Jordan Phillips might slide into this lineup sooner.
I want to get into Jordan Phillips in a second. Let me ask you this. Do you think this says something about what the Bills feel about their safety room?
I think it says that they don't believe it's good enough yet.
Okay.
That's what I think. That doesn't mean that Jordan Poyer is going to be the solution to that. But if they felt super confident about their safety room, I don't know if they would do this. But I don't think they feel super confident.
Here's where I'm a little conflicted. I don't disagree with you, but if they felt the way you say, why didn't they sign somebody who actually could play right now?
Why didn't they sign, or why don't they sign Jabril Peppers?
Jabril Peppers is a free agent now. He got released today. Is that what happened? I was playing golf. Yeah, I saw that come across.
Yeah, Jabril Peppers got released, and a couple of people were already asking about it. Should the Bills sign Peppers? It's really interesting because it's tricky, because with the Bills, it's not necessarily a strong safety and a free safety. We had a really good conversation with Bobby Babich about that. They want their safeties to be able to interchange and play a little bit of everything. I just don't. Jabril Peppers, to me, if he is willing to play in a depth role or be a rotational guy, that's great. I think there's potential there. But I'm not willing to say right now that he's playing over Taylor Rapp or Cole Bishop. It's kind of the same thing we talked. It's not the exact same thing, but it's a little bit like we talked about with Justin Simmons. If you go out and sign a legit bona fide player, you're basically saying we disagreed on this. I was saying you're kind of punting on the year for Cole Bishop. You said, no, it's not punting on it. It's just more competition, which is never a bad thing. So
I think it's letting him taking more time than you want to develop.
Yeah.
But that you're not moving on from him.
But then we're having the same conversation next year. If Cole Bishop doesn't play a substantial amount of plays in games this year, we're having the exact same conversation about Cole Bishop next year. And if we're having that same conversation, then, they better it would be a problem.
I agree with you. I think that is a conversation you could have next year, but that doesn't mean that he's gone. But let me ask you this. Where do you think this team is in this organization, where you are, Matt Bove, from where you were maybe in Cole Bishop 2 weeks ago than now?
Just because he played a couple strong drives in a preseason game against Bucs backups, I don't feel like everything is solved. I don't feel terrible about it. I'm not super concerned about the two starting safeties, but I don't feel good about it either. To me, it was the most concerning position. The most concerning position now, I think, just because of circumstance, has become the cornerback position. But I think that's more of a short-term concern. The long-term concern is I just don't know what to expect from the safeties. And when you're talking about the cornerbacks compared to the safeties, Christian Benford is elite. Taylor Rapp is good. So that's why just generally I feel worse about the safeties long-term. I think the Bills probably feel a little bit better about Cole Bishop than they did 2 weeks ago. But do you remember that press conference with Sean probably a week and a half ago when I asked him about the safety position? And he sent a message. We're looking for who's going to play alongside T-Rap. Do you think that they just had some voila moment and it was just like, okay, voila. Like,
no,
Cole Bishop is going to definitely be the guy.
No, What I do think, though, is they've always earmarked Cole Bishop to be the starter. It
Oh,
was never
for
a
sure.
question mark.
Definitely.
But what I think is, though, listening to Sean and listening to Bobby Babich, I do believe there's a little conviction in how much they feel that getting on the field has helped him and he has progressed to the point of, are they really super comfortable with knowing that they go into a game against the Baltimore Ravens? I think that is a question. Now, it's interesting because a couple of weeks ago, we were really talking about Jordan Hancock. We've not talked about him at all because he hasn't been on the field, but he's still interesting for this whole conversation because as you go forward, maybe in a few weeks, Jordan Hancock gets back on the field. He starts playing. Would you leave some space for him to still slide in there maybe? Or does it, I guess you'd have to have Cole Bishop not play up to standard.
Yeah.
But would you give space for maybe them giving that runway for Jordan Hancock?
It would be completely dependent on Cole Bishop. And that even goes to the Jabril Peppers idea. If they did something like bringing in Jabril Peppers, it would be Cole Bishop's job to lose. Like if he plays to the caliber that you're hoping he would as a second-round pick from last year, he should be the one who's out on the field, and they like Taylor Rapp. Those are your two safeties. But I don't think it should be a super long leash. It's understandable that there's going to be mistakes. He's only got a handful of games in the NFL, or a handful of starts, I should say. So there's going to be mistakes. You have to live with them. You want to live with them now as opposed to later on in the season. I don't know. I don't feel overly confident, but it doesn't terrify me either. Honestly, what terrifies me a little bit is the potential outlook at cornerback for the first couple weeks. But we'll get to that down the road.
Yeah, so thank you very much here. It is Maddox who says, still think Hancock played better in the preseason. I don't disagree, but he got hurt. He never had the runway to kind of win that job, basically.
The other thing I would say, too, is even though we're talking about Cole Bishop and how he played against the Bucs, it's hard to completely gauge because of the discrepancy in competition. Like Hancock was playing pretty late into some of these games, so he was playing against third stringers pretty consistently, but I did definitely like his game.
I love this point here by Billy Bob. Billy Bob says, Peppers to me is a tweener safety linebacker. No doubt. That is absolutely what he is. But isn't that actually what the Bills like? Don't they like players like that? They like their undersized linebackers who can move, who can play a little safety, nickel, like a nickel safety.
Who was that?
A big nickel, basically.
Who was that guy a couple years ago that they reportedly really liked who was that exact fit?
Well, Kyle Duggar, but he went to New England.
Yeah, was it Kyle Duggar? Did he go to like some really small college? And they went and scouted him a couple times.
I think so, but maybe there's a few guys like that you're probably thinking of.
And then there was the other guy who was in Carolina, and then he went from Carolina to Washington.
Yeah, and I can't remember the names you're thinking of, but they've always had guys like that. And this year, it's Shaq Thompson. Jeremy Chin. Jeremy Chin's an elite player, though, right? And then you got this year now. We got a little wind here. We're trying to clean things up over there, but it's all good because we have Paula's Donuts there that everybody can go by and don't worry about that. It'll make any kind of wind feel pretty good. Okay, so there's some names there for sure when you talk about that. But in the meantime, the Bills do run that kind of defense, right? Where they have undersized guys, they put it linebacker. I've always said about Jabril Peppers, want to talk about him? When he came out of the draft, I said I didn't love him, to be honest with you. And the reason was, Matt, some guys are good enough to play two positions and be pretty good at it. To me, he almost didn't have a position. That's what I didn't love about Jabril Peppers. But I think he's survived in this league long enough where if you find a role for him, it doesn't mean. But if the Patriots are moving on from him, which they have, I think that kind of speaks to that too. Whereas I don't know really what he is. Where does he play?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how he would be utilized on this team. Like the idea, the concept of somebody who is a tweener in theory makes a lot of sense, especially for a team like, let's talk about the Ravens game, right?
Yep.
Having a guy like that would make a lot of sense, but you're not getting him on the field in a week and a day to get ready for the Ravens. I mean, that would just seem absolutely ridiculous. So I feel like they will be interested, but I think they'll only be interested if it is for a practice squad spot or, a very low risk move where he could be further down on the depth chart.
So, by the way, thank you for everybody who's commenting on my sunglasses. I played golf today, and these are the glasses that I wore.
They're nice sunglasses.
Yeah, I like they're Oakleys, right? I like wearing my Oakleys. My guy Matt over at Oakley takes care of me when I need a nice pair of glasses. I actually have very sensitive eyes, so that's why I wear glasses a lot. You know this from me being on TV. It's like I squinty sometimes, so I don't like to do that. You never do. I don't see you wearing glasses as much.
Ever.
Really?
No, very rarely.
I have very sensitive eyes. So if you see me a lot, you will see me wearing sunglasses often. It's because like you see pictures of me like just squinting. It looks terrible. So when I'm in something like this, even when it's It's like it's not even the sun. It's that glaze you get. That's that white cloud cover and color that comes at you.
Yeah, somebody put the sunglasses emoji.
There you go. I love it, AC. Thank you very much.
My concern about the safety position is solely here's the one thing I'll say, and this might be a little bit harsh. Even with the concerns I have, I still think it'll be better than it was last year. They got some pretty bad safety play last year. I feel like Cole Bishop learning on the job should still be at least to the level, if not a higher level, than what we saw for most of last year. The other piece to this, too, is theoretically the defensive line play and the linebacker play should also be better. You know what helps the safety position? When the quarterback, that's what I mean, a pass rush and linebackers who are really good. And like Matt Milano has been really good. We did our season preview episode of Leading the Charge yesterday. We recorded it, and it was myself, Howard Simon, and Joe Biscaglia. And we all picked a player or a position that we were the most excited about. And I was going to pick Keon Coleman, but I pivoted to Joey Bosa. Like, Joey Bosa could have such an impact on the entire defense because of what he brings to the pass rush.
That's right.
Like, if Joey Bosa's cooking, all of a sudden, Cole Bishop might not need to make a play as quick as he would have otherwise. Or it's the same thing about the cornerback. So it feels like even with my concerns of the safety position, I don't think it's going to be a huge issue right out of the gate.
Even against a team like the Baltimore Ravens.
Well, I'm concerned. Well, here's my thing. The safety position could be a concern, but the cornerback position, I think, is a bigger concern. And if they are without Trey White and potentially Christian Benford, it's going to be it's going to be, hey, Josh, we need you to go score 35 today.
Yeah, and we let's give an update on that real quick. We did not see either Tre'Davious White or Christian Benford on the field at the last practice we were at, and that was on Wednesday. But we did see Christian Benford on the side working with trainers. Looked like was progressing, at least whatever's going on there on the exercise bike. I did see Tre'Davious White in the field house. I saw him too.
No, it didn't look like he had any braces on. It didn't look like he was limping. He did a slight jog that would almost be an insult to calling it a jog across the field from one end to the other, which, is a good sign, right? You want to see him at least moving. So that is what I saw. Of the two, more confident than Christian Benford certainly is back out there for week one. But there are questions, and we disagree, though, because I'm still planting my flag that if there's one of those cornerbacks missing week one, I think Dorian Strong will be the guy that gets the start. You think it's Jamarcus Ingram, though?
I think it could be Jamarcus Ingram or Dane Jackson.
I don't think it's Dane Jackson. I don't want to say there's not a chance.
I'm less on Dane Jackson now after the way everything developed over the weekend.
Dane Jackson was playing into the final minutes of the fourth quarter.
But I'm
in the final preseason finale. I don't think he would.
You think the first starting corner outside of Christian Benford and Trey will be Dorian Strong? He's the number 3 outside corner right now. That's what you're saying.
It's either him or Jamarcus.
Yes.
I'm saying
I will go there at least. I think that by now I'll say it's more Jamarcus than it is Dane Jackson.
But I'm saying I think that I would rather see them play Dorian Strong.
Because you just think he'd be better?
I feel like you don't know yet.
The reason why you might do it, though, would be possibly because you want to make sure Jamarcus Ingram can also fill other roles for you.
Sure.
Because he can play inside, outside, nickel, he can play dime safety.
The other fascinating part about this too is if this is something that they're dealing with, or really for the entire season, does Christian Benford start to follow elite wide receivers?
That's really good question.
I think he's going to this year.
And if he did, though, I don't know if you have one on Baltimore for him.
No.
Right? Bateman wouldn't qualify. No, Zay Flowers is a slot guy.
Yeah, I don't think it would be a Baltimore thing. I'm just saying in general. But Bateman kind of cooked the Bills in the playoffs last year.
He did. He got deep on them, no doubt.
Yeah.
All right, let's go one more time. Another good one from Maddox. He says, any chance on Asante Samuel? No, I don't. I said there was no chance of Jordan Poyer. I just don't think he's the kind of player that they would bring in, but also he's got an injury that
he's got a lingering
injury.
With. And it doesn't feel like that would help them immediately. And that's why I just don't see it happening.
All right. So you brought up the defensive line and what could be done there.
Don't say too much about the cornerbacks. Bean will go and get Gilmore. That wouldn't be a bad thing. And here's the one thing I'll say. They clearly have a type, and they like former Bills players. So Stephon Gilmore, even though that was a different regime in Buffalo, Stephon Gilmore will probably just go, sign with some team that has a cornerback injury in the first 4 weeks of the season?
Yeah. Steve, no, I am not stoned. I'm not going to say that's why I'm wearing sunglasses, but thank you very much for the levity here in the chat box. All right. We appreciate everybody coming along. Before we get to Jordan Phillips, let's tell everybody what we're doing here. We are at Signals gas station, Route 20 in Irving.
Route 20.
Oh my gosh. Matt, I love it. Paula's Donuts. We got plenty of Paula's Donuts here. Come on down till supplies last, but we got plenty of those for you. We have peanut sticks, Boston cream, red velvet. Oh my gosh.
We had the peanut stick donut is the best donut on the planet. I'm willing to die on that hill.
Okay, but I'm a big chocolate guy. I like chocolate donuts.
Well, then have a chocolate peanut stick.
Oh, that's even better. I love it. Okay,
I'll
get you there. You might disagree on the corners, but I like the peanut stick comment. Register to win. Autographed memorabilia provided by TSE Buffalo. Check out their 24/7 auctions all season long at billsbids.com. Plus, and by the way, here when you come, we got autographed helmets. You got autographed merchandise like jerseys, footballs, everything. It's really cool. Christine, can you give me one of these? Maybe we can show somebody one of these autographed pieces of memorabilia. Also, Matt, how about that, right? Tell everybody about that. And I'll
10 cents off a gallon. Gas is ridiculous.
10 cents off a gallon of gas, right?
It's already a pretty cheap gallon out here, so now you get 10 cents off of that, which is nice.
Now, look, those of you listening after we do this, you're not going to – this is a Jim Kelly autographed football right here. Could be yours. What do you got, buddy?
Joe Andreessen, autographed helmet.
I mean, yes,
it said here even wrote Buffalo Joe on it. So
yes,
I'm not going to put this on.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, how about this? This is a Taron Johnson. It's a Taron Johnson autographed jersey I got in my hand. Whoa, watch out right there. There you go. Thank you. And a K gun. Who is? You know what? I don't know who signed it. Let's see. Let's say K gun, but people signed it. Somebody signed this from the Jim Kelly days. It's not Jim Kelly. It says K gun. So we'll see. But we have all that here. So come on down, and you guys have a great shot to do all this. And it's cool. We got a lot of things. Billsbids.com. You can find everything there. And sign up for Signals gas card. Save $5 on your next purchase by doing that, including when you get 10 cents off per gallon. All right, Jordan Phillips has returned. The two Jordans. Mm-hmm. Another one kind of out in left field, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of people thought when it happened last week, this is going to be it's going to be for, I don't know, Daquan Jones or Dwayne Carter. Somebody's getting traded.
Yeah.
It was never the case. He signed with the practice squad. Everybody else made the 53. Why is Jordan Phillips here?
I think Jordan Phillips might be active. Week 1 seems like a stretch, but maybe week 2. Really, I think that they could use their elevations while Larry Ogunjobi is out. And I feel like for the Bills, Deion Walker and Jordan Phillips have so many similarities, but Jordan Phillips is the one that they know.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about this a little bit because the Jordan Phillips news happened before the Jordan Poyer news happened. Jordan Phillips made arguably the biggest defensive play for the Bills in the AFC Championship game like 230 days ago. So they still think that there is something there. I do not think it should be as big of a responsibility or as many snaps as he was getting in January, just because their defensive line depth is so much better. But to me, this feels like use him in the first 6 weeks, use those free elevations that you have while you're dealing with the Ogunjobi suspension. And then chances are, by the time Ogunjobi is ready to come back, somebody will probably be banged up on the defensive line. It's one of those spots where there just seems to be injuries. And if there's not, that's a good thing because then you're healthy and then you have to maneuver the roster however you have to do it. So I think Jordan Phillips is on the field before Jordan Poyer is. I don't even know if Jordan Poyer is going to be on the field a lot. I think Jordan Phillips is going to play and be active at some point.
You must have said something good because someone just said yes, Matt. There you go.
What did I say?
I have no idea. KN 315. Whatever. You guys are both right. I know what it's probably about the Ingram. Ingram and
probably about Route 20.
No, it's Route 20.
It's probably about Route 20.
He doesn't matter what he says about corners. I know he's wrong about routes. Okay, I was a wide receiver. I never ran a passing route. I ran a passing route.
But it's different. Like literally, look at this comment from AC. Route for football, route for roads. Even though it's the same word, it doesn't have to be used.
Yeah, but when you navigate places, you're running a route. A passing route means you're going from one place to another. Yeah. It's the same thing.
Yes, they're all saying it's about route and route. Safety is a huge concern. Michelle, yeah. We're all over the place.
Thank you, Michelle, for bringing us back to where we need to be here. By the way, went out and watched practice the other day. We did see Jordan Phillips out there. He is not like 38. He's 32, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, he's a little bit older, but, he has he's been in this league and he's signed 4 contracts, I believe, now with the Bills, which, by the way, is incredible. Somebody has signed 4 separate contracts with the Bills.
Let me see if I can figure this out. It was Miami to Buffalo.
Yep.
To Arizona.
Yep.
To Buffalo.
Yep.
To Dallas.
Yep.
To Buffalo.
Yep.
In Buffalo again.
That's great. I think you got it. I think you got it. I think he did it.
How unbelievable is that career path for Jordan Phillips. Good for him. Jordan Phillips has been a really, really impactful player for the Bills over the years. So good for him. I do think that we're going to see him on the field sooner rather than later.
So Jordan Phillips is back, and the rest of the D-line is intact that we talked a little bit about.
This is a natural transition.
Okay, go.
Should they have traded for Micah Parsons?
I mean, anytime you can trade for Micah Parsons, I say yes. I just think it would have been.
Is it a massive missed opportunity?
No. I mean,
I turned
missed
down
opportunity. How do you know they even had the opportunity? You have to have everything be able to do that financially. They signed him to this massive deal. Could they do that?
Yeah, they could have figured something out. The money aside, it's the assets. I would have absolutely been comfortable with this team giving up multiple first-round picks and a player. It didn't feel like they have the type of player that would have been able to get this deal done. The Cowboys wanted a veteran defensive tackle with not a lot of guaranteed money in the future who could help them right now. I don't know if the Bills have anybody like that. They have defensive tackles who would have been intriguing. They're younger players. It felt like for the Bills, if there was a way to make this move, it would have needed to be done months ago before their entire roster was. But here's a good one. 2 1s in Groot. Would you trade 2 firsts in Greg Rousseau for Micah Parsons?
Sure, I would. I mean, I guess.
I mean, that's substantially more than Dallas got. Greg Rousseau is a heck of a lot better than what Dallas got.
They got a 2-time Pro Bowler, I think, even more than that.
Greg Rousseau's like 25.
Yeah, no doubt. Here's part of it, though. I'm going to run this by you. So somebody asked, I saw somebody put that up about the Chiefs. Why don't the Chiefs do that? By the way, thank you for those of us telling us we missed Jordan Phillips playing for the Giants, apparently. That's what some people are saying.
Oh, okay.
So somebody asked on social media, or there was a Chiefs person saying, I can't believe why the Chiefs need to do this. Put him next to Chris Jones. And why wouldn't they do that? Jim Monis, who used to be in the Bills organization, worked in the front office. His response was, the reason they don't is because they have Patrick Mahomes. And what he's saying basically there is you're already in a spot where you're contending for a championship, right? Like, he doesn't guarantee you a Super Bowl, and you already could win one without getting rid of all those things. I think that's what his point was. And I thought, well, that's interesting. Thinking about how much more does it make you better when you have already a great chance. The Bills are basically the favorites to win the Super Bowl anyway, or at least one of them.
Here is my pushback to that. With Patrick Mahomes, they have already won 3 times. The Bills should be desperate. Like, right now, you should be desperate to win a Super Bowl in the next 4 years while you have Josh Allen in your prime. And that is the contract that Micah Parsons signed, a 4-year contract extension. Yep. So to me, this would have aligned with all of those other moves that you made, the Christian Benford, the Greg Rousseau, the Terrell Bernard. It would have been a ridiculously risky thing to do. I am totally fine with it. I mean, if they had, I think the Bills have a chance to win the Super Bowl. Right? I think we both think that they have a chance to win the Super Bowl.
Let me be clear. If they would have done that deal, I would have been like, oh my God, I can't believe it. The Bills just got Micah Parsons. Yes. I would not have not liked it for sure.
No, I think they have a chance to win the Super Bowl. If they made the Micah Parsons trade, I would think they're going to win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Like, that's how I would feel, because that is how impactful of a player he is. Them not doing it does not mean I don't think that they have a chance to win the Super Bowl still. Yeah. I still think that they have a chance. It's just, was it realistic? Probably not. But it was interesting to me that I turned on ESPN this morning, and the first thing that they were talking about, of course, was Micah Parsons, but it was Mike Tannenbaum, the longtime GM, talking about how teams like Buffalo and Baltimore missed an opportunity to add a player like that. And his point was, I'm assuming the Cowboys would have been more likely to trade him to the AFC than to the NFC.
How much better do you think this makes the Packers? Of a contender in the NFC.
I think they're the second scariest team in the NFC behind the Eagles. Yes.
I think you really have to like Jordan Love to think that, and I'm not convinced on him.
Here's my thing, though.
I'm not convinced
I don't think you do. I think Jordan Love is a good quarterback with potential. I like the other pieces they have on offense. The defense last year was sneaky good, and now you add Micah Parsons on top of it. I think that's going to be a team where the defense really carries the weight, and then the offense is good. It's almost like it's different. It's almost like an inverse of the Bills, right? Where the Bills' offense is going to be why they contend. The defense should be good, but you have some questions.
They do enough, make enough plays.
It almost feels like the Packers are going to be kind of the inverse of that, where the defense should be really, really elite, and the offense should be good, and you like the pieces that they have there. I mean, Jordan Love makes the same as Josh Allen. They both get $55 million a year. So they were able to make it work financially.
No doubt. It was interesting. A lot of people who have kind of followed the Packers, including Andrew Brandt, who used to work there, he did not give them any chance to trade for him because they said that's just not how they normally operate. They do have a new president because Mark Murphy is no longer there, by the way.
Yeah.
And their new president is Eddie Policy, I believe, who was Carmen Policy's son. Carmen used to run the Niners when they won Super Bowls in the 80s and 90s.
I'm never going to knock a team for going for it. I think unequivocally the Packers are on the better end of this deal than the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And if we would have been doing an emergency podcast last night. This would have been a massive, massive news. What does this say? Micah Parsons is not the best defensive player in the world.
Well, someone set up here. Here's why. This is why. Read this one first.
2 firsts for the best player in the world on defense is nothing. I would have gave 3 to 4 firsts.
And then this person says,
okay, I don't disagree. I don't think Micah Parsons is the best defensive player in the NFL, but I think he's probably in the top 5. Yeah. And I mean, given his age and his potential, that's why, because we talked a lot about at the beginning of the offseason, Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett would have been a home run. I think right now Myles Garrett is a better, more impactful player than Micah Parsons. But Micah Parsons is 25, 26 years old, or Myles Garrett is 30 or 31. And pass rushers are a weird one because they can usually play into their mid-30s. If you're making this deal for Micah Parsons, you're having Micah Parsons for the next 10 years on your team.
I don't know who Rocky Doug is talking to or about. He said, you guys sound really dumb. I'm glad you're not in charge of the Bills. This reminds me of the Herschel Walker trade. I don't know if you're talking about us or the people in the chat box, but we appreciate you coming aboard here because we are live.
Let me say
at
this,
Signals
though,
gas station.
The Herschel Walker trade was well before my time.
Yeah, I remember it.
Micah Parsons is better right now than Herschel Walker was when he got traded.
Yes.
And when they made the Herschel Walker trade, they gave up more than the Packers gave up for Micah Parsons.
It's crazy. I mean, back then you didn't have a salary cap. I think it had just it hadn't really started yet.
It's like, we're nitpicking here. Parsons is a lazy run defender. He is an elite pass rusher. We're kidding ourselves if we don't think the Bills are a much better team with Micah Parsons on it than without it. And the other reason that I say that I wish they would have done something like this is their track record with first-round picks is not spotless. It's not a guarantee that those players that there would be not getting an opportunity at. And if you're going to contend, they're going to, and it's the same thing as the Packers. These are late first-round picks. The Packers are going to be good. We're talking about picks like 25 to 32 for somebody like this. I'm not going to kill them for not making the move. Like, that seems ridiculous, but I would have absolutely done it if I could have.
By the way, speaking of first-round picks, something I wanted to bring up a couple weeks ago and I never did. Did you see the Chiefs moved on again for basically one of their first-round picks from just 2 years ago, the defensive end who can't get on the field and is injured all the time? And I mean,
you'll die on this hill.
I will. Of course I will. Go look at, and then, did you see Clyde Edwards-Helaire, by the way, was waived by his third team because
benefit of the doubt, though. They've won. They get the benefit. They deserve the benefit of the doubt because they have won. They've won 3 Super Bowls.
Oh, no doubt. My point is that they are just as bad at drafting as anybody else or good. Period. They have the same amount of hits and misses. It really, you can wash it any way you want. They have maybe a few more guys that have been elite, but they've also had, remember we went through the exercise? Yeah. They've also had guys, more guys bust out, I think.
Yeah, for sure. But if your hits are grand slams over the wall and out of the ballpark, that gets you a little bit further than just hitting a bunch of singles. And I feel like their ceiling has been higher with the players. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Chris Jones is one of the best defensive players of all time. I think the Bills have a Super Bowl if they have a player like Chris Jones on defense, but they don't. And to their credit, they found somebody like that.
So we are here at Irving, at Signals gas station in Irving, at Signal gas station Irving, Route or Route 20?
Route.
I say Route. He says Route. You said it the right way the first time. We're down here. We got Paul's Donuts. We got Matt Bove, Sal Capaccio. Matt's, of course, on WKBW TV. I'm on WGR Sports Radio 550. You can come down here until 5 p.m. today. We're live. If you're listening after we do this, don't come down here and say, where's Sal and Matt?
Yeah.
You're listening on the audio, on the record, right? Don't do that. Or you're watching at Sal Sports on YouTube. Don't do that as well. Come on down here. But if you're here now watching because you're on our feed at YouTube at Sal Sports or at Sal Sports on X, you can come down here. 10 cents off a gallon.
Sal did a radio hit right at 3 o'clock and said to come ask for Tony. And by 3:02, 2 minutes later, somebody pulled into this parking lot and they were like, hey, where's Tony? So clearly people were listening right off the bat. So yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, I know they didn't move on from Felix Anunze Azuma, thank you. I know that what I'm trying to say is, though, he's not going to play for them. It's been 2 years. He can't get on the field, and now they put him on IR before the season started with a calf injury, right? I mean, it's clearly he's not in their plans. That was the point I'm making. So, yes, I know they didn't actually move on from him completely. The point I'm making is it's another failed first-round pick by a team that, oh, my God, be like the Chiefs. It's like when be like Bill Belichick and do everything. Sometimes I think people can go a little bit lost with those kinds of things when it comes time to comparing to other teams and other organizations. I digress. Okay. We talked a lot about Micah Parsons, Jordan Phillips back in Buffalo. I did want to get to the D-line as it is right now. Are you surprised there were no moves on the D-line going into the 53? Meaning everybody who's there is still there, including the suspended players, obviously, but nothing really changed.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I think Dwayne Carter's name was thrown around a little bit too much as somebody that they could potentially move on from. I never got that sense just because going back to this draft stuff, he was a third-round pick last year. Like, I just don't think that they would move on from a second-year, third-round pick because they have seen second- or third-year, third-round picks in years past make an impact a couple of years into their career, right? They got more out of Dorian Williams after a couple of years. They got a lot more out of Terrell Bernard after a couple of years. So to move on from Dwayne Carter right now felt silly. And also, that wouldn't just be somebody you would cut. That would be somebody you would be trying to trade. And the fact that they didn't do that, I think that makes me believe that they think that he could be something. The thing that I was a bit surprised by was how the offensive line shook out. I thought the offensive line moves were not something that I would have predicted. On the 53-man rosters we did, that's where I made my mistake, was with the offensive line, because I thought maybe they would trade a guy like Ryan Vandermark, but I also didn't foresee Tylan Grable going on IR.
That was the only mistake I made.
Yeah, that threw me for a loop.
Grable on the team and Van Pran Granger on PUP.
Yes.
Instead, it was Van Pran Granger on the team and Grable on IR. Other than that, I was good on the 53, but you never know when some of these things come up. We have a comment here, having the two Jordans will pay by the end of the season. They will pay because they deserve a ring to end their careers here. Scott, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Kevin, no, it is not really that sunny. I explained it. I have sensitive eyes when I'm outdoors sometimes. Instead of me squinting at you, I could do this. But in like 2 minutes, I'm going to be like this, looking at you and squinting everybody. I don't want to do that. So that's why I wear my sunglasses. I do think that it'd be cool if Jordan Poyer and Jordan Phillips could ultimately get that, like something that obviously Micah Hyde wasn't able to when he came back.
Oh, of course. I mean, that's the story. Here's the storybook ending, right? Okay. Let me paint you a little picture. The storybook ending is that if they're in the Super Bowl, then like that's a huge if, right? The Bills are down 4 and the other team has the ball. And Trey White gets a pick to give the Bills the ball back. Josh takes them down the field, scores, they win. That is the storybook ending. Now, if you're a Bills fan, the scenario you want is that if they're in any of these big games, it's an absolute blowout, so you can enjoy it as much as humanly possible. Or Jordan Phillips forces a strip sack, and he's in the Super Bowl, and then Trey White comes and picks it up and laterals it to Jordan Poyer, and then he runs it in, whatever. Like, that's like the dream scenario. But it's clear, like, these guys want to try and win it in Buffalo. Who catches the touchdown pass? It's funny. Somebody reached out to me, and I think they reached out to you as well. I forgot the account, but they wanted to talk to a bunch of people who cover the Bills, and they asked us a bunch of questions. And one of the questions they asked me was, play, like Super Bowl on the line, what's the play you're calling, or what do you think happened? Did you get the same question? They told me, like, they're down 5, so they need to score a touchdown, and they're in the red zone. Like, what would you think? So they told me, and I was like, in that situation, Josh is running. If the Bills have one play,
20 yards out, he's not.
No. But they said like 5 yards. Like, it doesn't matter because they said 5 seconds on the clock. So 5 yards. I think
Josh is running.
Josh is running.
At least you're giving an option.
If you're putting him out a fade ball. If they threw a fade to Keon Coleman to try and win the Super Bowl for one play, they should fire. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Keon Coleman's going to be elite, but
listen, they get him moving at least to give him an option to throw, right? But it doesn't have to be necessarily him throwing.
No, he's running.
Right. Before we wrap up, we got a few other things we want to get to here. We want to tell you also, we're going to do this again. By the way, we are at 2,700 live viewers right now. Thank you very much. Over 2,700 live viewers right now on the stream at Sal Sports. Thank you so much. We're going to do this again tomorrow, by the way. And we're not done, by the way. A couple other topics for you. We're going to do this again next week. get this, folks. We're going to be at the BFLO store in Transit Town, Williamsville, Transit Road, Wednesday night, 6:30 p.m. We're going to be there. They got a whole bunch going on. So if you can't come down here to Route 20 in Irving to come to Signals, you can come see us next Wednesday night for another live podcast and show to see us. That's going to be at the BFLO store on Transit Road at 6:30 next Wednesday night.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm just excited for football too. Like that'll be a fun way of it's Wednesday. Wednesday is our usual big, busiest day of practice for the week. So we'll be coming right from the facility where we get all the interviews, we get all the injury updates. We'll have a ton to talk about. And then, I mean, the next day is an NFL game. The next day is the NFL season opener.
No doubt about it. I have a question here from Stalk the Ground. Sarah, are you going to be in Lockport the whole time tomorrow or just for part of it? Tomorrow is a card show called the Keenan Card Show. Keenan, right?
Yeah.
I'm actually going to be at a table and people can come up and take pictures and get autographs along with like Joe Andreessen and a couple others. It's going to be really cool. I'm only there from like 1 to 2 tomorrow, but I'll be hanging out a little bit. So thank you very much. It's at the Keenan Center tomorrow. Come on by Lockport. I'll be there. You want to take a picture, say hi, signing things like that. Come on by. It's going to be really cool. It's a big card show. My son Max is super into cards. He's going to be there with me as well. So that's going to be at the Keenan Center.
I told
tomorrow.
you when you're in Lockport, you got to go to Reed's. Niagara County is my thing.
All right.
So Niagara County.
Come on to Lockport tomorrow. Come on and hang out with me a little bit. I'll be people take pictures with both of us maybe.
Yeah. No, you can enjoy Lockport.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Listen, I have to ask you because we've not had this discussion yet. Bill's new uniform.
Oh yeah, that's a couple people talked about it.
Nike rivalry. What do you think?
They're good. That's what I would say. They're good. They're not great.
Wow.
They're good. They're fine.
I liked them.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Scale 1 to 10. 1, hate them. 10, they're amazing.
I give them like a 7 to 8.
Okay. I think I'd be at like a 6. A 5.5 to a 6.
And I will tell you, though, it's not just, oh, my God, the Bills uniforms. Like, there are some uniforms I don't love. But I do love the clean look of a uniform. Like, I like the all-white or all, like, I like Penn State's clean look, right? I like that. This is a super clean look, and I've always really liked the UB Bulls white, and they remind me a lot of the UB Bulls white.
So many similarities to the UB Bulls white. The one thing I'll say is the more you look into the jerseys, the more of the accents you see. You don't see them in the pictures because the lighting is crazy, and it's just tough to see all of the details. But there's like gray on the shoulders, and it's almost like a snow pattern or something. They're cool. Like, I don't dislike them. Somebody says they're great. You're wrong, Bove. Listen, we're totally allowed to disagree on this stuff. I would say,
no, you're not. You're good.
I would say they're the second worst jerseys the Bills currently have. The worst jersey, the red jersey. I don't like the red jersey.
Wow. Are you looking more forward to them wearing
the classic whites,
the Nike rivalry, the standing Buffalo logo, which they're going to wear twice this year,
red helmet,
or the red helmet
unequivocally, then the standing Buffalo, then after that it would be the rivalries jerseys. There's a time and place for like all of them. I don't disagree. They're all cool. I like the jersey. I like the concept, but the other jerseys are way better.
What do you think about some of the other rivalry, the Nike ones? Jets, Dolphins,
that's the
Patriots.
One. That's the one thing I'll say. Compared to the other ones, the Bills jerseys are much better than the other ones. They're some of them are ugly. I like the 49ers one and then the Bills one, but after that, it's
on the Jets. I didn't even know what color it is because their social media team, like the color of the actual like promotion of it, drown out the color of the jersey. It was weird.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know what I mean? Like these jerseys.
Can we give a shout out to the Bills social media team? They did a really good job promoting it, though. That was real. I like that video. Yeah. The condensation coming off, the cracking it, the ice. I thought they did a really, really solid job there. That was great.
The Bills social media squad and their video production team and all of those people are unbelievably talented. So kudos to them. They're really, really good.
All right. Think about anything else you want to talk about. Well, I just remind everybody that next week we're going to be at BFLO store. And want to tell you, next week during the show, we're going to have with us, all right, we're going to have Nick Ryberg, who owns Sojourn Travel. He's going to come by and talk with us about the Buffalo Football Legends Cruise, where you can go on a cruise for 7 days, 7 nights with me, Thurman Thomas, Steve Tasker, Don Beebe, Scott Norwood, Butch Roll, Del Rita 26 shirts. We're going to celebrate Thurman's 60th birthday on this cruise. He's going to tell you all about it. We're going on to the British Virgin Islands, going to the Caribbean, leaving out of Miami May 10th, coming back on May 17th. Folks, it's going to be amazing. And you have to get in now if you want to do this, because you can save before September 7th. Before September 7th, the home opener that day, you could save several $100s just by going to WGR550.com and clicking and signing up. After September 7th, it might cost you a little bit more, but it's going to be an amazing time.
You saying before the home opener and then the fact that that's next week is nuts to me. And it's also not lost on me that it's this final home opener in the stadium. That's pretty crazy.
It is the final.
The next home opener will be in a new stadium.
And I think we're going to have, as of now, like weather like this, like we have here. Right now.
I think that would be amazing. I love weather like
Matt's
this.
wife and daughter are here.
Yeah, they just walked in.
Yes, hi. I mean, Paula's Donuts over there, right? I mean,
hi, Ellie.
Does Ellie like donuts yet? Do we know that?
Oh, she likes donuts. Ellie likes donuts.
I love it.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to put Ellie on to say hi to everybody? Can we do that?
You want to come be on the stream?
Can Ellie come say hi? Oh, yeah, there you go. Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you? I've never held Ellie. There you go. Hi.
Can you say hi?
Can you see your dad right there?
She wants to go to mom.
I know. Oh, I made her scared. Can you go to dad?
Here, Ellie.
There you go. I made her scared. There you go.
Hi, little girl.
There you go.
Hi. What's going on? Do you see Daddy on the screen right here? Can you say hi, everybody?
For everybody who's not watching on video, shame on you. You're just listening because you are missing Ellie being on. Hi. Yeah. Now she's looking at me like, yeah. Now
can you tell everybody what your name is? Mommy, she wants to be held.
Okay, very good.
I'll set
you
down this way, Al.
There you go.
Go that way to see Mommy.
Thank you very much for coming on and brightening our day here at Signals Gas Station. We got a nice long line here. We're going to be here till 5 p.m. Right now, it's just a little before 4:30. We'll be here for about a little over a half hour and hanging out with people. You want to say hi? You want to talk Buffalo Bills football? You want to talk about the season? It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is, to me, the best. Tomorrow, college football really cooking. Oh, UB, they had a nice little.
Yeah, they held last night. The offense did not play that great. They had one big play. The defense is good.
Yeah,
their defense is good. Red Murdoch is really good.
Red Murdoch is the name to watch. Murdoch it's different than Joe Andreessen and Sean Dolak. Both of those guys should have gotten drafted. Yes. Red Murdoch will get drafted. The size, the intangibles, he is going to play in the NFL. So now we can all talk about the Bills drafting Red Murdoch next year, or when they don't draft him, the mistake that they made by not drafting him.
All right, so what do you got going on this Labor Day weekend?
Finally, the best Beauvais made it to the stream. That's not wrong.
Hey.
Finally, the best Beauvais made it to the stream. I know. No kidding.
What do you got going on this weekend? Now that you're not coming to Lockport to see me.
My big fantasy football draft is this weekend, and a lot of people's is this weekend also.
I had one, and I have one next week. But
my big league, I think I've been in this league for 18 years now, is this upcoming. We always do it the Sunday before Labor Day. So it's legitimately one of my favorite days of the year. It's cool because two of my favorite days of the year, if you made me make a list of my top 5 days of the year, fantasy football draft and home opener for the Bills are both in there.
And I love the home opener when it's a Sunday at 1, though.
Yeah,
it'll be great this year anyway. It's a big game, but you got to wait a little bit too long, right?
Yeah.
By the way, we have reached over 3,000 live viewers. Thank you so much for coming aboard. And if you are listening, I'm actually going to join Mike's show when I leave here at 5 p.m. as I head back up towards Buffalo.
Yep.
Matt and I, again, real quick, let's just run it through everything, what we got going on. Next week, Wednesday night, 6:30 p.m., we are going to be at the BFLO store on Transit Road in Williamsville. Can't wait for that. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have a lot more for you as we go along here on It's Always Game Day in Buffalo. Make sure you are subscribed at Sal Sports on YouTube. Also, subscribe to me on Twitter. I have a special deal going on for subscribers right now. We actually have a special survivor pool just for subscribers, and you can get a part of that. Matt's going to be at practice. I'm going to be at practice. Yep. We're going to tell you all about what's going on. And the big day will be Wednesday when we find out if Tre'Davious White practices and what his injury designation is.
Yeah, but I will also say, everybody, even if he doesn't practice on Wednesday, if it's a limited situation or if he's – I feel like Trey White would be one of those guys who the sky is not falling if he's not practicing Wednesday. Same thing with Christian Benford. But if it's Wednesday and Thursday, that's when because now that we're getting back into regular season mode, if you don't practice at all, you're not going to play. Right? If you don't practice Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, you're just not going to play. If you miss Wednesday, but you're back Thursday, usually that's a pretty good sign that you're going to play. And then those guys who just play Friday, I feel like, or practice Friday, are really in the questionable, but with the Bills tend to lean towards doubtful.
Right.
So that's where I'm like, yeah, I think Wednesday is a big day, but Thursday with the injuries is the bigger day to me.
Okay, everybody. Thanks a lot to Mike Rabier, our producer. Thank you all for watching, coming aboard. Thanks to everybody who came over here. 3,000 live viewers on the stream. 3,000 live viewers. We've hit it. Tony, great job. Thank you for having us out here at Signals. Matt and I will be here about another half hour saying hi to you, making sure that you get your 10 cents off per gallon of gas when you get down here to Signals Route 20 in Irving. Don't forget, next Wednesday, we're going to be out at the BFLO store up at Transit Town. Go to WGR550.com. Also, to sign up and check out the Buffalo Football Legends Cruise. You will not be disappointed. I can't wait. All right, buddy, have a great weekend. You too.